welcome to another edition of the Buck Stops here. On this one, I'm doing a reaction video to Lisa Raye. Uh, Lisa Raye recently went viral because she made a statement about how she can only date a man that's rich. And basically, you know, um, she doesn't want to put this stress on that financial stress or obligation on a man that can't afford her. So let's take a look at what she said in this clip.
I don't want to stress you out by trying to keep up with my lifestyle that I already have and am accustomed to. Why? Because if I'm going to these restaurants just for lunch meetings and it takes you your whole check to take me there, I don't want to stress you out. You cannot hang with me. You are still wanting a vacation for the weekend. I vacationing on holiday for the month. We are not going to be able to make this work.
All right, let's go. So we're basically talking about Lisa Raye and her quote unquote viral video for her basically saying that if she's going to get married, it has to be to a man that's rich because, she's become accustomed to a certain lifestyle and she's not about to stress out a man that can't afford that. So she knows what boundaries she needs to stay in. And she also used an example that the places she goes just for meetings, average working guy can't afford that. And where people go to vacation for a week, she goes for a month. So let's talk about it. Now I'm gonna be objective from both sides, um, because most of I'm assuming most of the people that are criticizing her in the comments are men. And they're basically where the men are coming from is they're looking at it like you're not the Lisa Raye that you used to be. You're not a spring chicken anymore. And I dare you say that you want some rich man to take care of you because if a man in your age group is rich, more than likely he's going for the young hot thing and she's not diamond anymore. I get that. I understand the logic. But let's go on Lisa Raye's side of the spectrum. Lisa Raye, to my knowledge, first time she came to us in the public in terms of doing a gig was Players Club. Players Club was, I believe, in '95. So we're talking about if she's 57, that was 29 years ago. So she was about late 20s, 28 or somewhere in that category when that came out. Now, to my knowledge, Lisa Raye's always been fine. I don't remember. I don't think she was fat when she was younger. So you got to follow me here. So she's done things. She's not right now. She's not what you would call in a list of actresses, but she's done enough to where even without her being married to somebody, you could say she's done enough to experience a level of a lifestyle. So this is how I look at it. You have to understand something. When you experience something, you don't want to go back. Meek Mills once had a song. It's called "It's Levels to This." If you made $10 and suddenly you make 20, that $20 an hour check looks so much different than the $10 an hour check. And if you work at that job for a while at 20, it's $10 is not even in your rearview mirror. It's like the more you drive, whatever's in the rearview, you can't see it no more. You look at $10 like no way. It's called human nature. Um, and it may seem long winded, but sometimes you got to be long winded to get to your point. Even men, we we dabble into the stores of women that we're allowed to. You know, um, when you're making a certain amount of money, you may go for the women that shop at Walmart. But suddenly, if you get catapulted to a different financial spectrum, you find yourself going for the women that shop in, the more high end supermarkets. You're going to hotel functions and banquets. You're hanging with lawyers. And now that you've gone to that side, you look at the chicks you used to look at Walmart like, never again. So what I'm saying is, I'm 54 years old, and one thing I've learned about maturing and growing is that no woman, and I mean no woman, owes me an explanation for why she wouldn't want to date me. And she shouldn't have to explain that to any man. Lisa Ray is a nice looking woman. Even now, in her older age, she's still a good looking woman. And I get it. She's no longer the number one draft pick, or number one stunner, as they said back in the days. But you have to understand something. It goes deeper than just Lisa Ray being in the business and being an actress. She's a good looking woman. And from what I see from younger pictures, she was always attractive. So you're looking at a woman who's always predominantly been able to get her way in terms of being treated a certain way when dealing with men. Nobody's perfect. You're going to get in relationships, you're going to get divorced and all that. That comes with the territory. But for those that know, you know. So now you're asking this woman who's been a favorite, so a fan favorite, so to speak, to now throw all of that out the way and just take what she can get. And bottom line, Lisa Ray has the right to speak on whatever she wants to speak on. And it's her right to choose what she wants to choose. Because here's the thing, in the dating game, there's a lot of unspoken things that are like, but when somebody speaks on it, suddenly it becomes an issue. A woman with 3 or 4 kids can like Denzel, and she could easily be in a room with her friends and say, "Yeah, but he wouldn't want me with all these kids, girl, or whatever." But if he says it, now it becomes a problem. The same men that are broke that would say, "I know Janet Jackson wouldn't date me with my broke ass." Now, if Janet Jackson says it, it goes viral. Ultimately, people have the right to their decision, and you have to look at it like this, a man. You want to have the freedom to make your decision, as that woman has the freedom to make their decision. Because there you have men who only date white women. You have men that like women that are tall. They don't like nothing below 5'11". Some women like their men thugged out. And what I'm saying is this: you don't owe me an explanation for why you like that dude, regardless of what the circumstances are. But I also expect the same judge-free zone for me, for the women I choose. You know what I mean? And that's how it should go. Because we have to understand something. The same way we're criticizing Lisa Ray, men, I'm talking to y'all. You have to look at it like this. Imagine you're in an apartment complex and you're trying to fight for the right for something. And that right is the right to be able to not necessarily have to be silent in your apartment, which means, and it goes under these guidelines. And if it gets approved, that means you have the ability to play music as loud as you want. Okay. But then if it gets passed, you start complaining because you have Bahamian neighbors, and in your mind they're playing this Bahamian nonsense. It's like, dude, you cannot have this both ways. All of that falls under the guidelines of what you were fighting for. You can't have your freedom and then the Bahamian people that live next door not have their freedom. You know, ultimately, people have the right to do what they want to do. You have men that are 50s and 60s, even at that age, they don't want to date no woman with children. And some women will say, "Oh, yeah, we need to stop because it's over for you. At your age, you just better take what you can get." Bottom line, even if that man is not all that at 60 years old or whatever you want to call it, gray hair, bald, whatever, fat, it don't matter. If that's what he don't want to deal with, he should not have to deal with that. Bottom line, everybody has the freedom to make that decision. And I believe in getting gems from a situation. And the gem that you can take from all of this from Lisa Raye is that, do I know what I want when I'm going into a relationship? Because a lot of people don't. A lot of people just go into a relationship, have babies, and then 3 babies in, that's when they realize this dude's Muslim, I'm Christian. Too late now. All your babies is named Sahid, Muhammad, or whatever. You get what I'm saying. So I look at it like I actually applaud Lisa Raye for having an itinerary and knowing what she wants. And I'm not going to sit here and be, sarcastic and be like, well, good luck to you because you ain't going to find it. You know what? There's somebody out there for everybody. It, that's all I'm going to say. You know, I know girls in high schools that was the super freak. Dudes ran trains on them. Somebody married them. And I'm not using that analogy to say that that's Lisa Raye with the whole train thing, but I'm just saying everybody sees things differently. That's ultimately what it comes down to. Everybody does not see things the same way. Some men don't date women with children because they look at it as a burden. You got another dude, he don't look at it that way. And it ain't got nothing to do with him being low value either. He just don't see it the way you see it. He looks at it like, hey, she's beautiful and she's got a beautiful family. You see the perspective. He's not even looking at it as kids. He's looking at it like she's got a beautiful family. So it's just like it's just like it's going to be a lot of 50-year-olds plus that'll be like, I'm rich, I'm gonna get me a tender. Another 50-something-year-old dude will probably look at Lisa Raye as a prize. Because it's like they say, it's in the eyes of the beholder. So ultimately, what we gotta understand is, man, we gotta let people do what they do and live their life, man. Life is too short to be chastising somebody else for their decisions. And I'm glad that she knows what she wants. You know, we need more women out there that know what they want. Because ultimately, you save yourself a little heartache if you at least kind of have an idea of what you want. Because you got to know what you're getting into before you're getting into it. And this is basically what Lisa Raye is saying. She's saying, look, I know how my situation. It's just like it's just like if you're an actor or you're or established rapper or singer. If you're gonna date somebody, it's gonna be hard for you to date the everyday girl that works at Macy's or the Kroger's or wherever, because she's not gonna understand the lack of availability that you have due to the lifestyle that you live and the business that you're in. Now, a woman in your business, she would understand because she already knows how it works and the dynamics of that. So now if you say that, now all of a sudden Regular women get upset because you said it when most of them in reality knew that they couldn't date you anyway. You know what I mean? So so people sometimes think certain. It's like it's almost taboo for a person to speak their mind, but I don't have no problem with it. What the younger me might have got a hold of that video and oh yeah, yeah, she's gonna hit the wall, and she ain't. Man, Lisa Ray done earned the right to make the decision she want to make. She's lived. She's been fine most of her life. She's older, yes, but she's made decent money even without. Because I know one time she was married to a big shot politician from another country or whatever. But even before that, Lisa Ray, though she was never what you would call like a Demi Moore, but she did good enough to where she could got accustomed to a lifestyle. So even just on her own, she was able to enable herself to live a certain way. So once you go a luxury, you can't go back to living in a two-bedroom house apartment and trying to figure out how we're going to pay these bills. I mean, miracles happen, but for the most part, Hail Marys get blocked. So that's how I feel about it. More power to Lisa Ray. Make your decisions. You don't owe us nothing over here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave comments, and as always, peace, love, and whatever else you think of love.